The Gorecast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror.
Also brought to you by iBleedIndie.com, your one-stop shop for all your horror rentals and purchases. Don't waste time.
Hello and welcome back to another Sunday edition live here on Facebook with us hairy feckers from the Gorecast. As you saw us many months ago, well, two, three, I don't know. About 2 or 3 months ago, myself and Giz stumbled upon a fantastic movie.
It completely caught us unawares.
A fantastic movie called VooDoo, which inspired the
VooDoo episode.
hashtag 12. Johnny remembers things. Hashtag 12 VooDoo totally inspired episode. And then a week or two after that, we had the VooDoo director, Tom Costaville, on, who was a total legend and giving us all the cool things about the movie. And now, due to some fortuitous, thank you, look, we've managed to land the lead actress, Samantha Stewart.
Samantha, welcome to the Gorecast.
The lady down here. I'm pointing off screen, but she's down there. That's Samantha Stewart. Don't point to my crotch.
Hello.
I'll turn you up a little bit. So, first of all, welcome to the Gorecast.
I said that.
Oh, did you?
Happy. Thank you.
Okay, we are just going to check something here. You're breaking up a little bit. Tony Mack has gone crazy. How did you end up getting involved in the whole VooDoo project and everything? Because as maybe not a lot of people over in Ireland would know, because it's not really on television over here.
It's up on Showbox and a couple other things, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be on things like that. But Samantha's also... A lot of people are going on that. Samantha's also a running star on a very long-running and very popular TV show over in the States known as the Days of Our Lives. I keep going to say Young and the Restless. I don't know why. It's Days of Our Lives.
I was on that one too, so they both work. I was on all the soap operas.
Oh, were you on that as well?
Yeah, I've been on all of them.
Oh, wow.
Did the tour, did you?
Yeah.
Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, Young and the Restless, and Days of Our Lives.
Did you ever make it to Dallas?
Dallas was cancelled before I was an actor.
Did they redo Dallas?
Dallas was started back up again, but it only lasted about a season or two as far as I know.
Oh, yeah, one. Yeah, no, I wasn't on that.
Oh.
It's actually, it's hilarious. There's so many TV shows that are big now where you see actors on them, and 90% of them, it seems, have basically, in one way, shape, or form, done that kind of soap opera tour that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's easier to break into, but it kind of is easier to break into. There's ways of getting into those offices in ways that you can't get into some of the bigger offices.
Yeah.
But you still have to be a good actor to be on the soap operas, because they only give you one take. You literally have one take to do your lines. You don't get a second chance because they are shooting 1.5 episodes a day. Yeah. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And if you're not quick on your feet, like, you'll never make it in that world.
I'd imagine the turnover on those as well. They've got so many bit parts and so many characters that are probably in it for a couple episodes and all the rest of it, that as a result it's almost like a factory, I'd say, at this stage.
I was actually shooting a movie with another soap opera actor for a production company I work for, and he was saying the exact same thing, that he was like, you're not even given a chance to act. It's like, okay, this is what I need you to do. That's close enough. Move on.
As long as you hit your mark on the camera and say the lines, if something comes out of your mouth that makes sense, they'll be like, all right, moving on, next. And then they're like, okay, thank you, Samantha, bye. See you next time. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hope that was good.
Now scratching your head going, well, am I going to be getting a call back, or should I? Screw it, I'll just move on to the next one and hope for the best.
Soap on.
Until you watch it on TV, you have no idea if you even said the lines correctly. You just hope,
I suppose with doing an episode and a half a day,
yes,
you don't even get a chance to kind of even register what's going on in the episode, I'd say, to a point.
Yeah, and I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm not a contract player, but the contract players, they have paragraphs and paragraphs of dialogue a day that they have to memorize. It's just a miracle they get all the words out. Acting, comes down the road. If they're able to do that too, they're really talented.
So, as I was kind of saying earlier, so seeing as you were coming from that kind of television background and stuff, How did you end up getting involved in the VooDoo project in the first place? I heard Tom's side of it, where there was this other New Orleans lady, and you blew it up a storm.
I don't know anything about that side because I came in after, I guess, all that happened. But the story is not, super interesting. I literally just saw I was submitting to anything I thought I was right for. I submitted for the project. He called me in for the audition. Then he called me into a callback, which ended up being just a chemistry read with Ruth.
Yeah.
The callback was literally just me and Ruth reading together. And then 5 minutes later, he was like, yeah, we're going to cast both of you. We were just wanting to see who we wanted for which role.
Ruth plays Sam's character in the movie.
What?
Ruth? Sam's character?
Ruth. The cousin, yeah.
He's the cousin.
Sorry,
I said that completely wrong. Sorry. Ruth plays Sam's cousin in the movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sam's character in the movie? That was wrong.
They initially named my character, Tommy initially named my character Sammy. And then Ruth's character was Stacy. But then because my name is Samantha, we decided we shouldn't have my name and character's name be the same. So he changed it to Danny, and it became Danny and Stacy.
I actually find that weird when you see actors, walking, like the way, 2.5 Men. The way Charlie Sheen's still Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be him.
It's not. Yeah, but no, he's not. He's Charlie something else. He's not Charlie Sheen. I was just
Semantics.
saying. I'm just like, is it really acting if they're just calling you your real name?
Not for him. I mean, I imagine they just kind of left him to his own devices and hope that once again he said the words in the right order.
Or words at all.
Yeah.
In relation to Tom picking you because you kind of blew him away for the role and things like that, myself and Giz literally just rewatched VooDoo, I'd say about half an hour before we had you on camera, and it's just it's such an amazing performance. If for anyone who hasn't seen VooDoo yet, this Sam's character
fucks up, goes on a little bit of a trip, and then her fuck up comes and bites her in the ass.
Yeah.
But did I really fuck up? Because I didn't even know he was married. Like, it wasn't even my fault. It's like, sometimes life just sends you to hell, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's true. It's true. I love the fact that you're still somewhat in character. You got very defensive there very quickly. I didn't even know he was married.
No, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, but this Sam's poor character gets a terrible doing. Of mental torture.
Actually, it's probably what I thought was cool was the fact that they did go the full on Dante's Inferno route.
Oh, there's no punches pulled. Can you hear us, Sam?
I can. Am I frozen?
Yeah, your camera's frozen.
Yeah, I see that. I can see myself frozen, but I'm right here.
Okay. 2 seconds. Keep talking there for a second. I'll fix it. I know the camera's frozen.
To be honest, it was really the descent. Actually, to be honest, what really caught us was we're watching this film, and it's camcorder found footage, and 9 times out of 10 that's a terrible thing. And
we're very not anti found footage. We're anti.
No, it's not that. It's that it's such an easy medium to get wrong that when it's done right, it stands out. And this is one of those occasions where it really stood out.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that was...
Sam's back.
Yay! Part of the reason for that was, in every film you have what I call the waffle, the character development, the kind of the backstory, the bits that happen until things start getting really interesting. And for the waffle, it was energetic, it was moving fast enough that you weren't sitting there kind of going, come on. Instead you were sitting there kind of going, well, at least in every piece, you're getting another piece of information. It's moving forward.
It's also, I can see why they chose Ruth and Sam to play the characters.
Yeah,
you guys really carry the waffle part of it, as you would say.
As I said, it was very energetic, and that energy was
very natural. As well.
Which is
Tom really let us improv, not a ton. Like he liked his script. But, like, if there was a line where I'm like, I don't think she'd say it this way. Can I kind of, like, give it my own spin? Like, he was good at letting me do that. And I think that's why it came off more natural, is because there was a ton of improv.
Personal touches put on where the script is going. Did
yourself and Ruth know each other before production?
Not at all. No.
Really?
No, not at all. But we're both Southern girls. She's from Texas and I'm from Tennessee. And so that kind of gave us a little bit of... We kind of felt close because of that. There's a very much something about being from the South. You kind of feel like you already know each other, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, it's be like in Ireland, you're in the same province. You're on Munster.
Yeah, that's totally it. We're very territorial in Ireland. So, as I was saying, Sam's character goes through an unmerciful ordeal. Eventually, yeah. Well, there's little. I won't get into it too much, but there's constant
poking of the bear.
It's getting excessively larger. The stuff that's happening, but it's there's constantly something.
I'll tell you, we were watching, as I was saying, we were watching the film and we were watching all the build-up and stuff, and we hadn't really completely took us by surprise when it just went to the bit with the camera and the night vision, and the two of us just looked at each other and went, "Did you just fucking see that?" Oh. And I actually sat up and went, "This just got so much more interesting."
It was just so there was no kind of there was none of that kind of horror by numbers shit that I hate. That suspense for music, suddenly no music, and then scary thing happens. Whereas this was you were just vlogging to your dad, you hit night vision accidentally, just like that. Like we actually, I remember the night we watched it first. He was like, "Did I just?" And we actually rewound.
You're like, "Yep, that's what happened."
Yeah, that definitely
really
happened.
Funny for me because they basically had me film it without the guy, and then they turned off all the lights, and then the guy got back here, and he had these fake teeth, so he was just drooling on my shoulder.
Oh, lovely.
And so I just remember that. I remember being like, "Did we get the shot so that I can go clean this up?" It was funny.
Oh, lovely. That's exactly what you want in a job description. You can be drooled on by monsters. Much other things of a drastic nature happen by monsters.
Yes.
To be perfectly honest, I can think of one or two people that would probably be up for doing a film like that. Well, debatable maybe.
You worry me sometimes, guys.
I worry me sometimes. To be perfectly honest, man. As I was saying, that one scene automatically took it from being okay. As I said, it's very easy to get the kind of the camcorder point of view, found footage type thing. It's very easy to get that wrong by juddery camera work or just bad pacing of the story. Now, as I said, you've been energetic, you've given us all this information. That happened, and all of a sudden we're like, right, what the hell is going to happen next? And once again, it wasn't, the pacing was good because you had the morning after and you had what happened on the beach, and that was fairly quick following on, And it was enough to kind of make you kind of go, yep, this is getting interesting, this is getting fun, we want to see what happens here.
Yeah, the little hints, they give you little hints that something crazy is about to go down, and then it does.
But they got progressively faster so that the waffle aspect of it is diminishing. You're still getting the story that you need, but it's no longer the setup, it's now the intriguing filler. If you know, kind of filling in the gaps, and at the same time you're kind of going, okay, the gaps are getting filled in, and stuff is happening, and ooh, that was cool, and like the fortune teller going crazy down on the beach.
Right, yeah. Oh, I loved her. She's such a great actress. I loved working with her.
I just
one of the women that actually blew my mind is the woman that plays the VooDoo priestess herself. That opening scene is absolutely terrifying. Like, it's so tense, It's just so, you're like, oh my God.
Constance is one of those actors that works very much in movement and body and voice. She takes she does improv for movement and voice. So she was so perfect to be able to do that role. She just nailed it. We loved her.
Yeah, I even said to the kids when we were watching today, I was like, if she actually did voodoo in real life, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she could pull it off, probably, for sure.
Now, I have to repeat myself because we keep diverting off the question I was trying to do. But as I said, and we've mentioned several times, your character goes through an unmerciful amount of shit, basically. And how taxing a role did you find it? Because I'd say it was a bit of a contrast to what happens in Days of Our Lives. And
oh, yeah. And, super contrast. Because like I said, Days of Our Lives is one take.
Yeah.
VooDoo was like, maybe we could get, it was the hardest thing I've ever done because nothing would go right. So we would do like 10 takes and there'd still be something wrong that we'd have to redo it, or the camera wouldn't work. So we'd be on set for 10 hours and hadn't shot a single scene. So we'd start at like, 10 a.m. and we wouldn't actually shoot anything until 6 p.m. Like that happened all the time. It was just, we were using like a brand new, really fancy camera and it just like didn't work all the time. And everyone on set, the crew, was not, they hadn't done a ton of movies in the past. So there was a lot of like learning curves and that kind of thing. And then when we shot Hell, it was literally hell. Like, I mean, there's no stunt person for me. I'm walking around barefoot in dirt that's like they picked up from a construction site down the street, so it's got like rocks and glass and nails in it, and I'm literally walking barefoot in it. And we don't really rehearse. We just kind of are like, this is what's supposed to happen in this scene, like go. People are, I got that huge butcher guy like stepped on my foot and like basically like broke the bones in my foot. And I had one of the demons, he got like so into it, and he was a great actor. But he was like really into his character. So like when I came up to him to pull him off with my mom, he backs up and just knocks me out in the face. And I mean, it hurt so bad. And I'm just like crying real tears. Just like when they stopped rolling cameras, it's like 4 a.m. and I've been there for like, 20 hours. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And Tommy's like, please, Sam, like one more take. We've almost got it. And I'm like, I just want to go home and go to sleep. And I mean, it was just like so crazy, but it ended up turning out, all those tears and all that like frustration ended up coming out on camera the right way. So it all worked out.
We've actually, we did a special on The Evil Dead before. And one of the things that we said in it was Sam Raimi would deliberately kind of like antagonize the cast to get certain reactions. Right. Like Bruce Campbell apparently bust his leg or something running through the woods. So every now and then Sam Raimi could like twack him in the back of the leg with a stick just to get him to kind of go, ah! Yeah. So as a result, I'm looking at that kind of going...
It seems like some of her epic performance comes down to the fact that she was actually put through hell, is what I'm hearing.
We were told that it was all one big massive set. Were you shown that beforehand, or was it just a case of you were brought on the day and you're told, this is what's going to be happening, and go?
Oh yeah, that hell set was... all the demons, me, everyone, we show up the first day we're supposed to shoot Hell, and we didn't even go into the it was like a big warehouse, and they were like, the set's not ready, so we can't shoot today. And they literally sent everyone home, but I still have to pay them. So we come like 2 days later, and maybe like a fourth of the set is built. So basically what they kept doing is we'd like shoot in this one part that they built, and then they'd tear it down and they'd rebuild it further along. They'd tear that down and they'd rebuild it so that everything looked different, but they didn't really have enough materials to like build everything. So the crew was literally working on the set up until the moment like we yelled action. Like it was definitely just very guerrilla, and I didn't see any of it until I was on set ready to go. But I mean, Tommy when he cast me, he kind of told me what I was in for. He's like, look, this is going to be, nothing like you've probably ever done before. Like, you're going to have to, like, get really down and dirty and, like, be ready for just, like, anything. And especially at that time in my career, like, I wasn't about to, like, turn down a role, especially a lead role in a film.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm down. Whatever it is, I'll do it. I wasn't supposed to get naked. That was, like, thrown on me at the very last minute. We're shooting the rape scene. And Justin, who was the first AD, he's like, Sam, it's a horror film. All horror actresses get topless. You have to be topless. And I'm like, you're telling me this now? Like, I didn't agree to that. And he's like, please, just do it. It'll be good. And I've been topless for a couple other movies, so I was like,
I have 2 words for you. If any director ever tries that line again, 3 words. I'm such an idiot. I have 3 words for you. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Did she get naked or no?
No, she never gets anything out.
There you go. I should have been like.
She's one of the few. It's why she survives.
A lot of very tight tops though.
Oh yeah. But naked is naked and clothes are clothes.
That being said, though, as we said, for what it was, fantastically shot scene.
Yeah. Oh dear.
No, it was
I knew this
5
was gonna
times
come up.
longer. When he shot it, we only did one take of that scene, and it was 5 times longer than that. And I'm watching, like, when we did ADR, I'm watching it, and I'm like, Tommy, this is the longest rape scene in the entire world. We have to cut it down. And he's like, no, this is the way it's supposed to be. And I convinced him to cut it.
Oh my god.
And it's still so long. I think it lasts forever. I'm sitting there and I'm like, when is it going to end? It's so long. But it was way longer before he cut it. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, because I have to say, I didn't notice it, probably because I was just completely blown back. I didn't notice it the first and the second time I watched it, but when I was rewatching it today, I even said to Giz, I was like, Jesus, man, that demon is manhandling her.
I noticed it.
And he is the nicest person in real
Yeah.
life since Jared. And he's like this huge bodybuilder. He's a little bit shorter than me because I'm super tall, but he's the nicest person you'll ever meet. And like, I was just like, go for it though. Like, be in character, just like do what the devil would do.
Yeah.
And he did. So, but he's like not like that in any way in real life.
I'd hope not.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
Yeah. You just called him out live on the internet.
Oh.
No one.
Oh, good.
Because he's not like that in real life.
Oh,
But
well,
he was
yeah.
like that. Shoot.
Yeah,
Never mind.
okay. Moving swiftly along.
How did... Yes, you see, you have a catchphrase.
Shut up.
How... When the... What's the best way of putting this?
I have no idea. I can't
When you seen the rape scene in the script...
What was your reaction? Were you like, okay, fair enough? Or were you like, are you kidding?
Or was it even graphically...
I wasn't supposed to be naked, for one thing, so I was supposed to still have my clothes on, and it, shot from the way it was shot, so that when he pulled down my pants, like, you weren't supposed to be able to see anything, and
Yeah.
I was like, I had never done a rape scene before, but it made sense for the story because, she goes through all these crazy rooms of hell that just keep getting worse and worse and worse,
Yeah.
and when she finally meets the devil, what's literally the worst thing that could happen to her? I mean, she's already dead. She's already been tortured. She would probably get raped. And it's, it's really hard for me to watch, but it makes sense for the story. And at the time, I didn't think I was even getting naked. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then, you add the nudity and I'm like, all right, now my family really can't see this, but it turned out good.
Like you were saying, as I said, I can imagine seeing the script and thinking to yourself it would make sense, especially because there are certain things in the trip through hell that you can see it's kind of leading up to this. The bit with the priest.
There's a nice...
the creepy uncle especially when he turns around and goes, oh, no, hands off, not yet.
Yeah.
You have to be someone else's first.
Yeah.
And I liked that.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, and then that little, like I said, then the present of the mother and kind of like, yeah, there you go, that little sliver of hope, and no.
Yeah.
I just
The mother actually was
like,
what really
worst
sealed the
things
deal
that
for
could
me.
ever happen to her, and then so it's like, what could the devil possibly do that is worse than all that she's just been through? And that's it,
But the other way that we kind of saw it was, well, voodoo priestess is probably thinking, you fucked me over, so now you'll see what happens.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, it's not just your character that gets a bad doing either. Ruth's character,
Stacy,
which is technically your character's fault.
Yeah, she didn't even do anything, and then
She placed the voodoo doll
as I
under the
walk
bed,
in,
and is
that wasn't it. One.
I was just saying, yeah, when I walk into that last room, right before I'm raped, I see her, getting her throat slit. And it's just this moment of like, not only did all this happen to me, but now I've just killed my cousin and now I'm about to get raped. It's like, that's why when I collapse on the ground, there's this moment of just like almost numbness and like giving up because you just wouldn't be able to process everything that's just happened to you.
That was, to be perfectly honest, that was actually one of the selling points. Just the blank look, I guess, is the best way of putting it. Like you said, trying to process the ordeal that you've just been through, the shock, the trauma, the realization, Jesus Christ, that actually just fucking happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I liked the way that when you were on the ground as well. I liked it was nearly Rob Zombie-ish. The not in style, but as in the length of time he just left the one steady shot. There was this kind of uncomfortableness.
yeah, that's the framing of the scene. The frame. It's like seeing. I know this is
No,
going to
not the framing of the scene. I'm talking about the length of time where he just stays locked on the one frame of the scene.
I was going to compare it to. Did you ever see there are certain art exhibitions, and they're aimed at like mutilated body parts, car crashes, the kind of darker side of life, and the whole point is that you're subjecting yourself to seeing this tragedy, this horrific thing, and absorbing all of it.
Yeah.
But sorry, interesting side thing.
Zombie used to use those shots so you'd be able to take in the entire shot and kind of nearly feel the levity of the entire situation from a purely outside perspective.
Okay. So, interestingly enough, the thing that actually really brought the VooDoo film to our attention was the fact that the day before we watched it, the reason we watched it was because we were after seeing all over Facebook that this thing had been banned. The trailer that was banned.
That is
Facebook.
how it came to our attention, and then it turned out that
I didn't even know that it was banned.
Oh yeah, and what's hilarious is the picture that they show has Ron Jeremy in it.
yeah,
Now I instantaneously thought in my head,
that's where
banned,
this is
it's
where
been banned
yeah.
by Facebook, and Ron Jeremy is on it. I think I need to see this film.
Yeah, it also gave us a misleading conception of what the movie was going to be initially by one screen grab, and then it turned out that inside the vault of the EGS.
That, the screen grab of Ron Jeremy is what a lot of people saw. So they're like, oh, I know what this movie's going to be.
Hey,
He's in it for like less than a minute. And his scene is so silly, It's just like...
And then
really
it turned out, by luck of the draw, we had the screener in the EGS inbox.
Yeah, so we went, you know what, we're going to watch this. And then, after watching the film, we actually kind of scratched our heads and went, what the hell is in the trailer that this got banned? Unless they show the scene at the end. And we put it on, and it was only then that after watching it, I realised it must be because they have what happens to the kid at the start.
Mm.
It's the only thing I could think of, and I was kind of like, yeah, maybe. But, controversy.
Thanks for sharing us out.
The only reason we watched it, well, not the only reason, but it was what hooked us first, And I have to say, as pleasant surprises go, this one is like right up there. Not only is it one of those situations where, as I keep going on, those found footage, point of view things, not only is it one of those situations that it's done right, but it's...
Well, as I've said about the whole found footage genre, the reason it's gone down the pooper, I'm curtailing my language because I've been using a lot of bad language. The reason it's been going down the pooper is that people have been using the found footage genre as an excuse to shoot their movie on no budget. Whereas this was a movie that needed to be shot found footage style.
Yeah. Where
the story is carried out found footage style, and there's the weird, creepy confusion from when it's the cousin carrying the camera, then hers carrying the camera, then the VooDoo lady's carrying the camera, then who the fuck is carrying the camera?
She's camera. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one stage then where everyone's in picture, and you're like, who the fuck is holding the camera? Like, there's.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy. I remember at one point when we were shooting Hell, I asked Tommy, I'm like, why would who's shooting this? Like, I'm not shooting it. Obviously, I'm in Hell. I don't care about the camera anymore. And he's like, he gave me this explanation, but then he was like, basically, we don't have a movie if no one carries a camera at the end. So, in the entity, they carry the camera, just like accept it. And I was like, okay.
I have a much. Well, I had a valid reason because we actually, who's carrying the camera and why? And I went, it's clearly the VooDoo priestess who wants to record all of this because let's face it, if you're going to dish out a bit of torturous vengeance, you're going to want to sit home and relax and watch it later with a smoke.
But the VooDoo priestess is in the last scene with the devil. She's, there doing her whole, like, VooDoo thing. So she's not holding it in that scene. So we decided it was, like, this entity. This entity that was literally like, you've come to LA and you were shooting all of this thing. So now when you go to Hell, we're going to shoot you in the same way that you were shooting LA. And it's basically this just like demonic entity. And when I first see it is when I'm being like chained up and they brand me.
Yeah,
and then I
awesome.
look over and I see the entity holding the camera and I have this like freak out moment of like, what the hell is this? So that's supposed to be the moment that you realize it's this crazy like entity that is
it's not a nice
following
experience
the
either.
camera.
Which
Big branded.
I'll take your word for that one.
From a man who has been branded.
Yeah, I saw the video of it. It was hilarious.
It's not. It's not nice. It smells like burnt eggs. I'm not afraid to admit that on camera. It smells like burnt eggs, to be honest.
Wasn't it a certain older gentleman's reaction was, Jesus, he's a mad bastard.
Yes, in most people's reactions to that were, I was a mad bastard.
Yeah, the video was hilarious.
My reaction to it, I was a mad bastard.
To be honest, speaking of the reaction you're talking about, I actually figured that was just you seeing the branding iron and going, oh crap! Ah!
No, it's supposed to be, the camera comes closer and I look over and I see that this entity is holding the camera, and apparently it's the scariest thing I've ever seen since being in hell, and it just terrifies me to no end. And that was supposed to be, the entity holding the camera.
Yeah.
But whatever people decide it is, then it is. It doesn't really matter in the end.
To be honest, as long as
something's holding the camera. It doesn't matter what.
You still get to see that Dante's Inferno right through hell, which was just, it really was the highlight of the film. I think not necessarily the last, but the gradual trip through it. Like you were saying earlier, the butcher. When you said that he stepped on your foot, I'm actually replaying the scene in my head, and I'm kind of going, I bet that's where it happened. Just that one, just before he picked you up, to put you onto the table.
It actually happens in the scene right before that, where he's tying me to the wall right before he brings me. I don't know if the scene because we did a bunch of takes. I don't know if the take where he stepped on it made it to the movie, but my foot did not recover for like months. It was swollen, and I mean, it hurt.
Well, foot injuries can be nasty.
Yes.
Fortunately, all I ever seem to do is break my hand.
Yes, you do have that.
Yeah, but God. So looking to the future, we were kind of. He brought up a page, one of your pages earlier, and there was a trailer for it. You've got an upcoming horror movie, I think. Something.
12.
That was it.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, I showed that years ago.
Yeah, I had a funny feeling that wasn't a new thing. It was just someone. There was
sorry.
some page that had you nominated as actress of the day.
Sorry, my bad. I thought it was a new trailer.
That was for a comedy short, the one I was nominated for. But 12, I had a small role, but it was it's an asylum film. I don't know if you know the asylum.
Yeah, we do.
We know the asylum.
We're great
so
buddies.
I've done 3 movies for them. That's where I show my boobs a lot. But 12 is a horror film. I just had a small role in that.
That's kind of part of the asylum, though.
Not all. Well, okay.
There's boobs.
I thought about it for 2 seconds and went, no, yeah.
Bikini Spring Break, that movie's going to have boobs in it. So that was my first feature film I ever did when I was 24 years old. So, yeah.
That's all good.
And what kind of stuff do you have anything interesting horror-wise coming up, or anything interesting in general coming up?
Yes, I have a horror film coming up. We're going to shoot in Peru, and it's got Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange.
We know Malcolm McDowell.
Little Alex.
Mm-hmm. Me and Malcolm have the same manager, actually. So it's going to be called The Mystery of the Casa Matacita, and it's this real
I saw
house
something
in
about
Peru.
this.
That's a hotel, isn't it?
It's a house in Peru where shit went down years ago, and there was all these murders that they can't explain. So this film is kind of about that. It's like a modern retelling of that story. And the producer is one of my very best friends, and they're all the roles are pretty much Peruvian, but he's like, I'm gonna find you a role in that, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm a white girl, so that should be really fun.
And you're still waiting to go into production on that one, yeah?
Yes, we've got the script, we've got Malcolm attached. We're just trying to find the last bit of funding, but hopefully in the next year, I think. Hopefully we'll be shooting it.
Malcolm brought in to even out the Caucasian level in the movie, was it?
I mean, it's Malcolm, so the role was kind of actually written for him. It's just a perfect role for him. He plays this kind of creepy character, he does so well. And and then the lead female is Peruvian, and then she's married to a white guy, and they go to Peru to like study this house, and then they end up getting like pulled into the whole legend of the house, and they stuff goes down. So should be you guys I think will really love it when it gets filmed.
Oh, don't worry, I have a funny feeling we're going to be reviewing it.
I'd say
Well,
there's not a lot of movies we don't review now.
Yeah, that's true actually.
but the movie's on IMDb. It's already got an IMDb page, so check it out.
Oh, I checked it out. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I do research, man.
Okay. Sorry. Jesus.
Did you? I have notes. I have notes.
Post-it notes.
Okay, granted, it's a sticky note thing there, but there's notes. Thank you. Outside of the horror stuff, do you have any other kind of movies coming up, or?
I'm doing a lot.
I actually saw on your IMDb page. There's a lot of in post production and just about to hit pre-production. A lot of some shorts.
Yes. So there's a lot of stuff that I finished in the last year or two that should be coming out. I do a ton of commercials, probably none that you would see in Ireland, but I've got multiple commercials coming out here in the States. And then I also do a lot of reenactment shows, like those true crime.
Really?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
How'd you find
I literally
those?
just finished one of those where I played it's kind of horror. I played a real life woman who was 6 feet tall that convinced her short boyfriend to kill her husband. And then she was put to death in Georgia in 2015. So I just played her. That was really fun. That'll be coming out in the next couple months. I don't know if they have those shows in Ireland.
Actually, there's a lot of
No, we have like ID and CSI channels and stuff that all come out in it.
Stuff like that.
And Netflix.
You have
That's
Discovery ID?
Yeah,
Okay, that's where all those
I'm
reenactment shows are.
I'm actually addicted to those kind of shows.
You'll
love
probably see me because I've done a ton of them. I think I've done like 5 different shows on there. So.
That'd be great. I'll be watching with my girlfriend tomorrow. But I know her. Your man hitting your man in the head with the hammer. Yeah, I know her. Yeah. There you go. Don't fuck with me. I got a posse
Ask her for pointers.
on hitting people with a hammer. Hard and fast at a man. You're the one that plays a serial killer and things. Am I right? Like hard and fast. It's a hammer.
All right, fine.
Hit him like Thor. Not with a lightning bolt. Hit him like Thor with the hammer. Hard and fast. Bang.
Are you saying Thor?
Thor.
Yeah, he is.
Thor. You know, Thor.
Thor. Got it.
Thor. Oh, it does sound like I'm saying I'm Thor. Thor. I have a Thor. Pick it up. I'm gone.
God,
That's it.
God, you.
That's it. I'm leaving. I'm out.
Out.
That's good. Bad joke. No, I'm back.
Okay, so you've got a bunch of shorts. You've got the horror movie with Malcolm McDowell. Any other feature-length stuff coming out, or is it mainly just the shorts and that you've got lined up?
There's another one coming out. It might be a few years from now, but it's in the works. It's called The 11, and it is basically a cruise ship that gets taken over by pirates, and 11 people or a bunch of people get on this little lifeboat and like are out on the sea trying to get saved, and they keep having to throw people off of the lifeboat in order for the people to survive that are still on the lifeboat. So it's 11 people survive in the end, and it's like who gets to survive and who gets thrown off the boat. So that should be really fun.
Battle Royale on a boat, on a lifeboat. Wait a minute, how many people could you possibly fit in a lifeboat?
That's like that's like how
probably
many
like
popes and how many bishops
25
in the car.
people on the boat, but only 11 get to survive. So the whole movie takes place pretty much on this lifeboat, and I'm the daughter of the captain of the lifeboat, of the ship, who died. And I was like this spoiled brat, but basically I come to like find myself during this horrible tragedy and
Crisis
become a
would
better.
do that to a person.
Yes.
Either that or send them on a homicidal binge.
There's the homicide. Well, there's not you're on a lifeboat.
Yeah.
You can't really go on a serious binge like.
Yeah, you can. Where the hell are they going to run to?
I thought the hell dog went away there for a minute.
No, he's back.
Yeah.
He's hungry for souls.
Oh, that hell dog. Okay, so what we're going to do for anybody who hasn't seen VooDoo yet is we're going to cut away to the trailer, and then we're going to come back where I have a couple of secret questions for Samantha.
Oh, yes, we
Because
do,
as
actually.
I said, I do research. Well, there's some funny questions that I made up, and there's 1 or 2 secret questions.
Okay.
So we'll be back momentarily, people. You're going to enjoy this, by the way. Click it.
Is this it? Finally made it to LA. Woo! You made it. Hi, Daddy. Here you go.
I fell in love with him though. And his wife, man, she was so scary. I mean, you know, I don't believe in that kind of like voodoo stuff, but there was something about her, man. I mean, she started like speaking in this weird language, then her like eyes started rolling in the back of her head. Trust me, it was scary. You would have been scared too. She's here. Apparently she's in Los Angeles.
And we're back.
So, as I said, Johnny does research, and I have a couple of scary questions for you. Right, first question from the set. I hear, for some reason, you were not allowed to eat on set.
Where did you hear? You know what? I think I know where this question is coming from, but it's different than what you think. It's more like I'm the pickiest eater in the entire world. So he would like bring food and I wouldn't like any of it, so I wouldn't eat. That's really what happens.
If it makes you feel any better, I know exactly where you are coming from. I am the bane of my family. You can't take me to restaurants or any place fancy because I only eat like 4 bloody things.
Me too. And I'm like, I have to have cheese with every meal that I eat. So like he would bring like tacos, but there'd be no cheese to put on the tacos. And I'm like, I cannot eat the tacos without cheese. So I just wouldn't eat. That was what would happen.
Eating tacos is already more adventurous than me.
Oh my god, man, you have to come down
Tacos
here.
only have meat and cheese. That's all they have on them is meat and cheese. So like I'm very, very picky, simple eater. But yeah, that's probably where that
I'm a big
question.
fan of that. I'm so glad they had no meat and they had no cheese, because I thought it was going to be one of those, I only eat salad and everything had meat in it.
No, I've literally never eaten a salad in my life. Like I'm like a 5-year-old when it comes to food. Like I just want cheese and bread and pasta, and that's about it.
I could feed you for the rest of your life because that's pretty much how I eat.
There's a friend of ours who used to, anytime we saw someone eating a salad, it was just like, that's rabbit food. Rabbit food. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
I can't eat salads. No, not happen.
I don't mind eating a salad when it's like in between 2 buns with a burger on it. I can do that.
I imagine for Samantha it's probably the same with me, whereby it's a case of, no, I'm not really into veg, I'll just eat the burger.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't eat vegetables.
Next question. If you were to put a voodoo curse on someone, who would it be and what curse would you put on them?
Donald Trump. I would put a curse on him to die immediately and to reverse all the horrible shit that he's done to our country. Just got really political there, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
It's grand. You're talking to someone that has to restrain that kind of stuff on an hourly basis when it comes to everyone's governments.
Because we deal mostly Americans fan basis wise, we're relatively up in the politics, and I found that whole thing so just. You don't mind if we get a bit political for a minute, do you?
You've got a cartoon character as your president.
Yeah, you have a
a legitimate.
You have a
Except
WWE
he can, like,
person.
actually ruin things and like make people's lives worse. So it's like, it's kind of funny, but then it's not because it's real. You know, it's not actually a cartoon.
It's so like
If it makes you
the
feel
whole
hang on
thing
a second.
fascinates me.
Hold up.
To be honest,
If it makes you feel any better, right? In Ireland, we have a government that is, quite frankly,
Robbing us blind.
so corrupt that calling them cartoon characters would actually be a compliment.
Yeah, except they'd grab ladies like you, tie them to train tracks, and be like, "Meh,
I think one of the best ones was recently.
Totally.
Recently, a 17-year-old was in court because
Oh,
apparently he managed to hold a woman hostage in front of a bunch of cops
Yeah.
with a water bomb. You know, a balloon filled with water.
No.
Was this the guy in the car?
Yeah, this
No,
is...
no, it was a gun, but it turned out
No,
it was
a water balloon.
No, it was a gun.
It was a water balloon.
No, it was a gun. I'm telling you, it was a gun.
She's still in a car surrounded by the fucking law. Alright?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And he's a 17-year-old kid in the middle of a protest.
I know,
Well, in
yeah.
our country, if she was black, that would probably happen. So
In our
that's
country,
the
she's just
personal-
fucking butt ugly. I mean, this woman looks like a bus ran over her twice and she said thank you for the upgrade.
Oh, we're going to get sued so bad.
I haven't mentioned any names, we're good.
That's true. You did mention the
Yeah,
entire news
political
story.
talk.
Yeah.
This is why we don't talk politics.
I never thought I'd say this. Let's go back to talking about Trump because I feel it's safe.
Trump's still politics,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah, no, I feel he's safe for politics. Giz talking about local politics could land us in a lot of shit.
Gotcha. Well, I don't want you guys getting in trouble, so we'll go back to American politics.
Yeah. Well, there's not much more to the Irish politics part. They're all fucking corrupt. That's it. They're just robbing the country blind, to be honest.
Puppets, man. They're just puppets.
The whole Trump thing just blew my mind. Like, what I can't figure out is, like, when Obama was president, all of the really good stuff that he was trying to do, it had to go through Congress, and everything was getting,
He
put
did
back
a
in
thing
the long
called
shoulder.
following the system. And
Yeah,
following
he
the
did a thing
rules.
called following the system, whereas, like, they just seem to have handed Trump a
big
notepad
rubber
of...
stamp.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even have to write my name
Well,
anymore?
when
No, you can just...
Obama was president, the Congress was still kind of a Republican, so he couldn't really get much done.
Yeah.
And now that Trump is president, Congress is still Republican, so they're like all on the same side, just like,
He
let's
did-
just like
he
fuck
did get very,
America as hard as we
like,
can.
politically cock-blocked, basically, for many years.
Who?
Obama.
Yeah.
I feel we can
Yeah.
talk about him because he's technically Irish, so it's technically Irish politics. He's supposedly Irish.
Hmm.
We have a garage named after him on the way to Dublin.
We have,
I think he's
There's
from
a garage
Hawaii.
named after him on the way to Dublin.
Sorry,
Obama.
you think he's from where?
Hawaii.
He's part Irish. I don't know what part of him is Irish, but
There was a big hullabaloo about he was visiting his hometown in Ireland and they were feeding him crap loads of Guinness, which I'm sure he regretted the next day.
and then he woke up the following morning to find the name of
His
the garage
mom or
after him.
dad is white, so maybe one of them is Irish. That's possible.
Any more questions?
Yes. If you didn't need a long answer.
Just to get us out of potential assassination territory, dude.
It's okay. Yeah, I was going to say they'll have to find me, but we're literally pinged on
Yeah.
Facebook. So, if you could co-act alongside someone, who would it be? Who's your dream co-actor?
My favorite actress is Ellen Bernstein from The Exorcist and
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yes, excellent.
She just blows my mind. I just want to stand next to her and like absorb some of her power.
She's very intense.
She's just so good. I just can't. I don't even know what to say. I just think she's so good. I would probably like in a film with her just pale so much in comparison. It wouldn't be good, but I would still want to do it.
I'm sure you get over the starstruckedness after the first take or two because somebody that intense, I'd imagine if things went pear-shaped, they might be very intense about it. You know, so...
Yeah, true. Question off the top of my head. When you read the script for VooDoo, did you think it was going to start getting as big as it has?
I've been out of town so much since it came out. I mean, is it big? Is it really big right now? I don't even
It's
know.
been blown up on any of the horror sites or anything I've been
there's,
seeing.
I think because, as I said, it popped up on Showbox and a couple other places there in the last few months or something like that. So I think as a result of that, it's allowed a lot of people to kind of, who'd be going through these things looking for new releases, kind of go, ooh, I'll give this a spin. And a lot of people, probably like us, have gone at probably the exact same scene, Did I just see what I think I saw? Ooh, this is interesting.
Go out and buy the movie. Stop watching it in Showbox.
From the reviews I've read, I
Don't
feel
you
like
have to pay for
people
that?
love it or they hate it. Like I've seen some really bad reviews that like think I'm the worst actress, and then some awesome reviews that think it's like the greatest movie ever. So I feel like people have a very strong reaction to it, regardless. Like they either love it or they hate it.
That's good that it's...
That's awesome. That's what it should be, right?
Yeah.
You know, at least it's a strong reaction.
I'd rather have someone hate my movie and mean it than you just get a... Meh.
Right.
What's meh?
Exactly.
At least if you tell me I hate it or you hate it, I can build. I can
Better-
build from there.
Hang on, better than that, and this is speaking from personal experience. I remember films that I thought were dire, whereas I can forget films that I thought were meh. The same way that I definitely remember films that I thought were awesome.
So even if they hate it, they're talking about it. And
Exactly.
it's like giving controversy, which, you know, is what we want. Because we knew when we read the script, we're like, this is going to piss a lot of people off, and it's, you know, not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But, you know, if people are talking about it, then that's all we can hope for.
Getting the controversy, as I said, that Facebook thing is what had us piqued our interest. And to be perfectly honest, I think that actually probably piqued a lot of people's interest, because it was since then that we've seen it explode. So I reckon...
We actually were talking about that with Tom.
Tom?
Yeah, that I was like, do you think it actually... He was like, in a way they banned it, but it actually nearly did the movie a load of good, because everyone was like, I have to see this fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was younger, the movie Cannibal Holocaust, which I'm sure you guys have seen.
Oh, yes.
It was, you know, on all of everything I read online, it was like banned in 16 countries. And I remember thinking, like, I have to see this movie. And I, like, bought it off of some, like, eBay, you know, for, like, $50 just because I had to see it because it was banned in all these countries. So it definitely works when something like that happens.
I'd say a good 90% of the older horror, I only saw them because once upon a time there was a show run on a British station which was basically all video nasties. Deliberately, it was just like all the films that have been banned. I remember sitting out there taking notes.
Watch that with my dad.
I Spit on the Grave, Cannibal Holocaust, Caligula.
Oh, Spit on the Grave.
Zombie Flesh Eaters, which we covered in one of them.
Yep.
The only reason I knew about that film was because there's a scene in it that got cut out because it showed a piece of wood going straight through the woman's eye. It was awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, The Evil Dead was in there as well. The first one,
In which?
that banned list.
It was banned.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. It was on Channel 4.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
But as a result, like as you were saying, it's that VooDoo getting that thing up on Facebook, getting all of these people that, you know, a strong reaction one way or the other.
Right.
It's like Bischoff's old line of controversy breeds success or something like that. As pretty much since that Facebook thing came up, I think is how I think it's exploded recently, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about it, and for good reason, I think, because once you give it a shot, once you know what kind of a film it is, okay, you're into horror, you're going to watch this film, it's okay, it's found footage, got a camcorder, okay, certain expectations, and then all of a sudden that scene happens, you're like, okay, I'm awake. That's okay, all of a sudden, and then it just gets progressively better. And I think that's going to stand to your favor, regardless of what you might have thought of the script at first, and kind of might have been scratching your head, kind of going,
Well,
"Oh."
if memory serves me correctly, the Voodoo Priestess intro had you and me going, okay, there's a little more to this puppy than I initially anticipated. Then it went into the normal found footagey stuff, and we were kind of like, okay, it's normal found footagey, we'll see where it goes. And then pretty much instantaneously, when the night vision section on the camera happened, we were like, I'm in. I'm in it to win it. Let's do this. This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's just the suddenness of it. It really was an awesome scene. And I know you were saying that you were sitting there kind of going, please tell me you got it.
Yeah, he was like right up against me. Just these big fake teeth and his mouth was open, just like kind of drooling down my front. It was gross.
Would you work with Tom again? Actually, there's a good question.
Yeah, of course I would. Tom and I are very different people. They're like, we have very different ideas, and so we butt heads a lot.
Yeah.
But I think the mixture of like what he thinks is awesome, what I think is awesome, we're both very strong personalities. When you mix that together, you end up with the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
so
you
I think
aggravatingly drive each other, I suppose.
Yeah, we get that sometimes.
Yeah, you and me.
Yeah, bastard.
Ugh.
I
We're going to have
actually
to
did
open the
work
door to
with
the
Tom
studio
again.
someday.
You get which?
I did work with Tommy again. We ended up buying a building together in Los Angeles, so he's like my business partner now too. So
unreal.
little fun trivia fact.
There you go. The building, or do you have a business in there?
Huh?
You renting the building out to other people, or you have a business in there?
Yeah, we bought a building and we're like the landlords of it. It's like a 6-unit apartment building that we rent out.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Jesus, imagine owning him rent.
You turn off a light and all of a sudden there's a demon standing right there.
Fuck that.
Where's the rent?
You go in and you're more in a piss, and when you come out, you're in hell.
Scary one. I'm the one that goes to the units and I'm like, you're late on the rent. Where's the rent? And I mean, Tommy's like a very nice guy. He's like, when can you pay? And I'm like, no, you'll pay. You'll pay tomorrow or else. Like, I'm the mean one for sure.
That's fucking terrifying.
I just got this vision of you standing there with a barbed wire baseball bat going, do you want to find out why Mick Foley made this famous?
Yeah. Or I'm like, I'm putting a note on your door. We'll go to court next week, motherfucker. Like, don't test me. I've kicked 3 people out of the building already, and you will be next. Like, I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Somebody cast this woman as a serial killer.
Yeah, this is women in horror right here.
Yeah.
People.
Like,
Holy
he's
shit.
very nice in VooDoo, but I've got a very, like, strong personality. You don't want to mess with me.
Interesting. I want to see you as a serial killer.
I like the way I have a very strong personality. You don't want to fuck with me.
I will gut you, bitch.
If somebody doesn't write a script about you being a serial killer, goddammit, I'm going to do it.
You
Jesus
should.
Christ, you, me.
It can be done.
It can be done. We'll do it. Okay. Expect a very weird script from Ireland. I should stop holding my head like this.
Totally down.
So on that, I think we've taken up literally an hour of this lovely lady's time.
Yep.
So I think it's time to say goodbye to Samantha and we'll let her go.
It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much for deciding to do the interview with us. I hear you were kind of done doing interviews and then you said, no, I'll do it with them. They're funny.
No, it's just that I've been out of town a lot, so trying to schedule me to do an interview has been difficult. But I actually was really excited to do the interview with you guys after I watched your review of VooDoo, because I was like literally laughing through the whole thing, and I'm like, these guys are hilarious. I really want to talk to them. So thank you.
Thank you for the compliment, and thank
We
you.
We gave up on trying to be credible journalists after about episode 2.
I'm still a credible journalist. I remain somewhat unbiased about stuff. I try to.
I remain totally unbiased. It doesn't make us any more. We won't get into that when it's on camera.
That's credibility. It has nothing to do with us being
in the morning
time. Anyway, to wrap things up, Samantha, thank you very much for coming on. We are very much looking forward to seeing the film you're in with Mr. McDowell, and the film involving you potentially killing a lifeboat full of people, because something tells me that you are going to make damn sure you are one of the 11.
Also, if you're any of the 15 people that I friended on Skype while trying to stalk down Samantha, I'm really sorry. You can accept the request if you want. I don't mind. It's up to you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Funny story there for the outtakes at the end of the year. So on that, we're going to let Samantha go. Thank you very, very, very much for joining us. And we're going to cut away to an advert from our sponsor, American Horrors, Hearty Fisher's American Horrors. Horror. 7 days a week.
Bye.
24 hours a day.
Bye, thank you.
See you later. Toodaloo.
Lads, I'm so fucking bored.
Weird. I don't remember turning the TV on.
Welcome to the new American Horror Channel on Roku. Streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all night, all day, all horror. Hi, I'm Hearty Fisher. As owner and operator of the world's greatest uncut 24 hours a day, 7 days a week horror channel, American Horrors, it's my job to let you know that I'm choking to death on this smoke. Okay, we're still rolling, right?
Boop. And we're back in the studio. But we don't need to be... We don't need to be
small.
We don't need to be small, no. I don't need to be small.
Okay,
so
so
we'll
big screen.
just fit it.
That's just big screening my face.
Hit. Gives its head. And oh wait.
Wait a minute.
Hang on. This is actually pretty cool.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
What are you doing with my hand? Put it back.
If there's anybody still watching, please screen grab this now. Do a surprise face. Oh no, wait, do angry face.
Okay, enough of that. Fix it.
That's good. Okay.
We're
back.
back.
Sorry.
Couldn't resist.
We're so easily distracted. We're like children.
Well, yeah, but that's what makes us entertaining.
Yeah. So, yet again, thanks to Samantha Stewart for joining us on the Gorecast and filling in what I think is a very good trifecta of VooDoo coverage.
Yes.
Because we did the review as reviewers, then we interviewed Tom Constable, the director.
Writer, director, producer.
Episode 12 is the VooDoo episode, and then the Tom Constable thing is like a week or two after that. So we have an interview from behind the camera, and then we interviewed Sam, the lead from the movie, interviewed in front of the camera.
For anyone that
is complete.
For anyone that hasn't seen VooDoo,
I don't know why.
Go find it for yourself. Figure out why we've made such a big deal out of this thing, because
It's shazzing amazing.
it really was just. It was a pleasant surprise. Nobody does.
Mm.
I mean, there's a lot of words that people use that nobody knows what they mean. But mainly because it was one of those pleasant surprises whereby you sit down to watch a film, you're thinking it's one thing, and all of a sudden, bang,
Smoke machine on. That wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be, actually.
No, it wasn't.
Yep. I'll let you. Do you want to round in? I was going to go on a tirade.
Yeah, I think we're about to mention the exact same thing.
Okay, so now that we finished up with Samantha, we were going to pop off, and then Giz fucking reminded me of something. So in the fucking hustle and bustle of all the fucking 80s remakes that they're fucking doing, A, you're going to bastardize it. B, they're already trying to bastardize another goddamn Stephen King fucking book, movie, TV series.
What about the Dark Tower?
I'm talking about now. They fucked that up years ago.
No, they're redoing.
Oh my god.
Oh, you didn't know
He
that?
must be literally like fucking rolling in money.
Apparently,
He must be like lit. I mean, he must be like, oh fuck, I can't get my foot in my shoe. Oh, it's because it's full of fucking money.
Anyway, moving on to the current one, which I think is what you were getting to. They're remaking Firestarter.
Jesus.
When was the original?
No, leave it alone.
When was the original one? Mid 80s.
I'll double check it. I'm gonna. I
I
feel
wanna say
84.
86. Oh,
Dun.
dun dun dun. Okay, so that's the challenge. Which one of us is right? Do we really care? So the original Firestarter basically has this couple. They volunteer for experiments, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they volunteer for experiments, which gives them pyrokinetic abilities. They have a kid. It's Drew Barrymore.
Oh! Fucking 84. Skididdly douche. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, you were right.
Usually when it comes to these things, it's very 25-75 most of the time. I'm going to take my win.
Anyway, the couple have a kid. It's young Drew Barrymore, who is a full-on pyrokinetic, and therefore the Firestarter. And then people are after them, trying to get her so that they can use her for their own fucking purposes, and
trying to get people to play her game. Get it? Firestarter.
Oh!
Firestarter.
Right. It was just the way you sang it sounded like a completely different song.
Yeah. Well, we already tried singing VooDoo before.
Yeah, but we got that in tune.
I feel like if you want to leave in the comments below, I feel like we didn't do a terrible job on it.
Mm. But anyway, when's the remake set to be done? Why are we looking at that?
I'd look in 2018, I think.
Yeah, it's once again we have to say the same thing we always say, and that is A, why are you doing it, and B, if you are going to do it, why
are you going to do it?
Yeah, what way are you going to do it? Because it seems the trend is to take stuff that was innocuous and make it jump scary and, like, obviously, I don't want to say obviously suspenseful so much as the lead-ins are just, the lead-ins are ridiculous. You can see them coming from 3 miles away, so that when the jump scare actually happens, you're like, is that it? Is that the best you got?
Release date.
And for this one, it's, for Firestarter, I think it's one of those films that you'd be better off kind of letting the tension build gradually and, a few decent outbursts, and wouldn't really be jump scares though, would there? Is that the new one? Sorry, we're just bringing up a page which has stuff regarding the new one on it, I think.
It has stuff about the new one. I'm just trying to see. It says release date. I feel like it lied to me. Oh,
Life
it's going to be
well
painted by
spent.
numbers.
Presented.
How do you know? Ah, right.
Well, look, they have been getting edgier.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, those two.
Anyway,
I don't want to mention them because we get shunned.
I'm sure once the trailer for Firestarter comes out, you'll have us doing a comparison, much like we did a couple of weeks ago with It.
This is very cheeky what they did here, actually. This to make it look like they have the Firestarter trailer, which they do,
Right.
technically.
But it's
From
original.
84.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way they have it done, it makes you think...
For those of you that are wondering what's going on, he's got a page open up and he thought it was one thing and it's not. And
I see it in the twinkle of my eye.
twinkle of your eye.
Because it's a big white screen and my big brown eyes.
No.
It was a joke. You zoom in, you flip it in reverse.
That's an urban myth.
Is it? I thought I made that up. What I do?
It's an old myth that the last thing a dead person sees, the image is captured in their eyes. It's an old
You're
myth.
implying you're going to kill me?
What? No. No. I'm not.
Okay.
Anyway, info?
It doesn't have any. It's pretty much exactly what we just said there.
So they just announced the fact that they're doing a remake.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologise. I thought there was a big mad article. My bad.
Yeah, no, but it advertised that they had a release date for it, which they don't. So, don't have a clue.
Oh,
It was only posted on the 28th of this month, so it's relatively current news, so there probably isn't a release date yet. Which means it's still in the early, hopefully, stages where they could be like, this is a bad idea, and let it fizzle out.
You want to know what's worse? I actually saw that coming from fucking 10 miles away and it's still.
I'm blatant.
Oh, blatant. Alright, well, on that anticlimax, should we wrap it up?
I wouldn't call it an anticlimax. I just don't think it's going to be terribly good.
I meant the fact that we didn't have a release date like we thought we did.
Yeah. Well, I never thought we definitely had a release date. I just thought that possibly. That was Logan. So good.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that was that's us done and dusted. So yet again, thanks to Samantha Stewart for joining us here in the Gorecast and keeping us entertained and for being fairly accepting and apologising and led us away with the thing that we said.
Thank you.
In the interview.
I have no idea which thing you're talking about.
Not in the interview.
Well, I want to ask you about your next project, The Circle.
What is
James
that?
Ponsoldt. It's based on another book by Dave Eggers.
Just kill the page. Just kill it. Kill it. Kill it now with fire. Just kill it. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me. So anyway, yeah. That's pretty much it. So for me, Johnny Deadly, and from that guy, The Giz, make sure